broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Like our fans even have any clue what this is anyway. That is some Daniel Bryan intro music for you all. Good friends help good friends get over the disgusting men in their lives. That's right, this is the Total Divas After Show on AFTERBUZZ TV. It was a juicy episode, if I do say so myself. Thank you for tuning in and watching tonight. This was episode 4, season 5, Talk of the Town. My name is Christy Olson. You guys can all tweet along with me at Christy Reports, and make sure that you are using the hashtag ABTV Total Divas when talking about this show. I was just checking your tweets, and I see a lot of you hanging out in the live chat. We are live on YouTube. Please give us a thumbs up, leave a little comment, let us know what you think. We're on SoundCloud and iTunes as well. We appreciate a 5-star rating. Let us know what you think about the show. And when I say we, I don't just mean me and you guys out there hanging out with me in the live chat. I'm not alone. Tell them who you are.
I was really hoping for the final countdown by Europe. Kudos if you actually know that reference. I know the gut engineer knows. Because I am George Hermoza from, I don't know where I'm saying where I'm from, as it matters, Los Angeles, California. You can follow me at G Hermoza on Twitter and Instagram. Still thinking about my 1,000th tweet. So feel free to follow me. I hope the expectation and the anticipation of my 1,000th tweet doesn't disappoint. So feel free to follow me. But the 1,001 tweet is what's going to be the most important one. The follow-up.
Okay, George, get on the ball with that one. Hey guys, it's Megan Stecher. So happy to be back this week. And if you want to tweet me, I'd love to chat with you. That is at Megan Stecher.
Hey everybody, I'm Paulina Aguilar, and you can find me on Twitter at _Paulina Aguilar.
All right.
By the way, they said your thing wrong last week, and I was no, it's at Paulina Aguilar. They didn't say the underscore.
Yes. So if you didn't get your get well wishes,
actually I did. Thank you. I did. So thank you for tweeting me to get well. I am almost out of the tunnel. I still have the sniffles, but I'm good. Better than last week. Last week I couldn't breathe.
I
can't breathe.
She's really upset.
I'm trying not to sniffle into the mic so you guys can.
I thought you were just so touched by the get well comment from your tweets.
That too was really sweet.
And she's really upset about Daniel Bryan, and we are of course going to talk about that really major news in a little bit. But first, let's jump right into the show. We learned that Nattie drunk texts, and we weren't surprised.
Who doesn't drunk text? That's right. Like who? In one person.
But my first thought was, what does a drunk text from Nattie say? What do you think Nattie says in a drunk text?
Well, they said it was a paragraph.
Yeah, right? Remember when she left that drunk voicemail for Stephanie McMahon, like in the first season? And it was a hot mess? I mean...
I think it has a lot to do with the cats. Like, there's something with the cats is going to end up in there.
Like, Two Paws says holla, like stuff like that. Yeah, either way, someone should take away Nattie's phone when she drinks.
Something kinky to do with TJ, maybe.
Just saying.
And plus a cameo from Renee Young.
Oh, yeah, you got excited.
And she looked good.
She did look good.
She's going to go get drunk with Nattie, also not a surprise.
Wish I was there.
Well, meanwhile, Maria Shriver is meeting the ladies Nikki Bella and Brie Bella at an event for Best Buddies, which is a great organization, something I'm familiar with because Miss USA organization is very active with them. But I didn't really know that the divas are all up in the Best Buddies, and this was a cute scene. I think Best Buddies is Maria Shriver's kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think her mom is the one that started the Best Buddies program. I know her mom definitely started the Special Olympics. So I'm not exactly sure which family member started Best Buddies. If it's an offshoot of Special Olympics, I could be totally wrong. But this was all due to Maria Shriver's mother's sister was mentally disabled, and it was a big thing in the family. The father got her a lobotomy, and it was a whole messed up thing. So it was like they wanted to do right by supporting people that had disabilities and development issues, and they made all these great charities, the family. So Good stuff came out of it.
And a perfect thing for Nikki and Brie to get involved with, I think. They're a little distracted by Patrick Schwarzenegger, but who wouldn't be?
Me?
He's gorgeous. I was happy they popped him in there for no reason. He said one thing. He's like, "Hey, my sister." He's like, "Hey, my sister's watch you guys." But they got him some screen time for no reason.
And I was like, "Wait, he looks familiar." And then they were like, "Oh, he's on Scream Queens." And I said, "Oh yeah, that's where from." You did the Scream Queens after show, right, Paulina?
I did, but I didn't recognize him. I'm trying to think about it of what role he played.
Was he
Unless
like the rich
I don't
family?
think he.
Or was it not this season, maybe?
No, I think he might be casted for season 2 because I don't remember seeing him for season 1 at all.
Well,
I would have known
be
that.
looking forward to that.
I would have remembered.
Meanwhile, Maria has this moment with the ladies where she hands over the mic. She's done talking at the event, and she says, Nikki and Brie have something that they would like to say. But neither Nikki nor Brie have anything that they want to say. I mean, now they were both right there by the microphone, not to just step up and be like, yes, thank you so much for having us, or go team, or I mean, not one word could come to mind.
We've seen on previous episodes that both Bella twins aren't really good with the words.
Some people just don't like public speaking. Some people like shake and get way too nervous and
perform in the
sweat.
ring and give promos and do that kind of stuff all the time for years and years. Like, there are a lot of people that are that way, and that's understandable. They shouldn't be two of them.
But they don't have to, wrestling in public, they don't have to talk.
It's so funny how a lot of people
it's scripted when they do talk.
You hear a lot of these wrestlers, even when they go into stand-up comedy, like, Dolph Ziggler and a few others, where they say, wrestling is fine, but put them in front of a microphone for like 20 people. Hard. It's like they just freeze.
I find that hilarious.
I do too.
Right, and it's just funny because we're all hosts, and so we have no problem with public speaking, and we're like, what? And then I have a lot of friends actually that don't like it.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a big fan of it.
They just can't do it.
I'm not a big fan of it. I'm gonna be real. Yeah, put me in front of a crowd and put like one person on the couch watching us. I'll be like, can you leave so I can be like normal?
Aww.
Get out of here.
I don't believe that. Not buying it, George. Mm-mm. Sorry.
You'll see. Once we get this studio audience built, you'll see.
Well, someone who may be shyly hiding something. How's that for a segue? Foxy's boyfriend.
Shades.
Lives with his ex-girlfriend and her kids.
So awkward.
I mean,
I'm so bittersweet about that situation. It's like, okay, hey, you're not a total asshole from kicking them out and throwing them out in the streets. I mean, she's got kids. Come on. I mean, if it's clean, it's a clean breakup. No hard feelings, but it's nice of him. I'd feel awkward if it were my guy, but I'd always be at the house.
Right?
I'd always be there.
Megan, what do you think?
I am so shaded out by the whole situation because I have a friend that this exact, the age difference thing happened with. Oh. So she was under the impression that he was 10 years younger than he said he was, I believe.
Oh, wow.
And it was a direct lie. I just bashed the microphone. It was a direct lie to her face, basically. And then a fellow, so it was like a group of 3 friends of us. The other girl, the other friend, and I found out from this guy's buddy that he was way older than he said he was. So it was like the 2 of us knew and didn't want to tell our friend because it was 2 days before her birthday. So we're like, okay, right after her birthday we can tell her. And it was just a whole mess. So I just watching it, having that reference in my mind of like this could get so much worse, and just like, and the way that he kind of was like, yeah, I know that I kind of lied to you, but I didn't lie. I'm just kind of lying by omitting the truth, but so that's not really a lie. Like, that whole thing really bugged me, where she got really mad and ripped the mic off. I was like, yes, rip the mic off. Get out of there.
So how many years were they apart?
Their age difference was over 20 years, my friend.
Wow.
And her,
He must look really
how amazing
young.
did he look?
Well, I mean, he was... And
was he really like 12?
And the creepy thing is all the signs were there. Like, he was dyeing his hair black and getting his black hair dye all over the towels, and then he would lie and say, like, I don't know what that is, and it's like, duh.
Yeah, in the situation with Foxy, at least, the guy did look old. I mean, when he first appeared, I was like, she's dating a male cougar. That's not the right terminology. But he definitely looked old, but he didn't look that old, and this wasn't like, he didn't lie about 20 years. Mm-hmm. I mean, it sort of seemed, I didn't like it, and it does indicate that somebody can lie. But the living with the girlfriend and the kid situation is something that I think, if I was her, I would have said, well, then you know what? That's really great that you're doing that for them, but call me when she moves out. You know, like, let that situation get its closure. Obviously, if there are children involved and they lived there, then he has a relationship with the children as well. I would be like, you know what? Good for you, but call me when they leave.
I have to say, this is going to get even shadier. So the personal story I have relating to what happened on the show, this guy ended up, he had an ex-wife he never told her about. He lied that he was ever married and stuff. And it's like, once there's, you know, one big lie that you uncover, I feel like there's so many more. That's why I was
was he just honest and straight up told her everything, or did she like dig and dig and dig?
I think it was like digging, and I think she found out
signed
about
up for that $3.99.
I think she found out about the marriage thing after they broke up.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was just about to ask if they were still together.
So
George,
the age wasn't really that big of a deal. It was the kids.
Yeah, I had
she said it was the lie.
No, I was asking Christy.
Yeah, I'm lying.
Oh, no.
Well, we'll get more into that later when we discover the lie.
Wait, I want to ask George, what would you do if some girl said, I looked you up in a background for $3.99 and...
As long as she's not under 18, I'm good.
Maybe he's the one who should be doing the background checks.
I'm not gonna ask how old she is, like, because it doesn't matter.
No, not about age. I'm just saying in general. If we were dating and I went to you and I said, George, I did a background check on you and I found X, Y, and Z.
What did you find?
I don't know.
I don't care.
Bad.
I'm flattered. I'm flattered that you think that, you know, that I'm worth your time of doing that.
I'm wondering how many
You like
people...
that, don't you?
I was expecting something totally different, but
Jerm knows what to say, ladies. All right, well, guys, let's.
I want to know what Megan was going to say something.
All that when we get to that point that we're talking about in the show, guys. Let's talk about Amanda and Nattie. Nattie sort of slips it into this convo with Amanda. Well, yeah, you know, she's done this red and gold thing before, and we do all remember when she first came in and she was going to hook up with Summer Rae, and then Eva wasn't ready at that time to put the work in, and Summer got really frustrated with her. Needless to say, they didn't become any kind of a tag team, and Amanda seems really insulted by this, which I guess I can sort of be like, yeah, I understand that you'd be insulted, but also, you know, if you weren't watching Total Divas that long ago and you work for the company now and you didn't go back and watch every episode and you're going to be on the show, you probably should have known that.
Yep.
All right?
You
guys are going to give her more credit?
I think she's fibbing for the show.
Really?
Having not seen all, like, not knowing
know
everything.
about it?
Oh,
like,
no, I don't
blah,
think
blah.
she'd barely heard of WWE until they were like, you know that you can be on this reality show.
I don't know. I mean,
I think should have at least mentioned, like, I tried it before, it just didn't work out.
I'm with Megan.
Yeah.
I think she's fibbing. I think, especially, like, I meet a lot of people that just watch Total Divas, like, just don't even know anything about wrestling. And it's funny, everybody who likes Total Divas that doesn't watch wrestling, they all love Eva Marie. I just think that's weird.
Yeah, I like her.
Well, we don't dislike her.
But yeah, but obviously it's like
Fabulous
an unwritten rule in reality TV. You don't talk about previous seasons, or you don't talk about it being an actual TV show. You don't break that fourth wall. So yeah, I'm kind of with Megan as far as
you're
like,
on the Kardashians.
or you're not, or you're not gonna say, well, season 2, you guys look like this. Like, they're not gonna say that on the actual show.
Well, no, but maybe they had that conversation in private. But what I was mad at is why Mandy didn't ask about it when they made up. It's like, hey, by the way, I also heard that you did this. What happened? Like,
Great point.
Or, you know, like, I'd be curious, like, why didn't it work out? Was it whose fault was it? What wasn't there? What is gonna make it different from us? Type of thing.
Great point.
Well, I just want to mention that at this point in the episode is where we saw Nikki putting on lipstick and putting on lipstick and putting on lipstick, and Dolph gave her a little like, oh, you got enough on. What she was doing was smooching 296 little pieces of cardboard to go in a plaque that WWE made to celebrate her longest reigning Divas championship. It's a really big plaque, and it's really cute. It has a picture of her, and it says, like, a bunch of stuff. And those plaques always have, like, something special, something commemorative. Like, sometimes it's a piece of the mat. This Nikki Bella one happened to be an authentic kiss from Nikki Bella.
Maybe the one that you have is the one that they showed.
Is the one that she was doing. I know. I have number 200, by the way, out of 296.
That's so cool.
And I was just looking at it today, and I was like, I wonder what color lipstick that is. And it looked redder on her lips than it does on the cardboard. But anyway, that's what she was doing there with the lipstick. I bet you guys were dying to know.
That's
You're
a fabulous
such a special
insider
human being.
detail.
I know.
Meanwhile, all right, let's talk about Foxy and the background check and the whole thing.
Yeah.
Go!
Okay, wait, okay. Have you guys, though, ever done a background check? Because I did one time. I was dating a guy that I didn't know personally in real life as a friend or first.
Is this before like Facebook and all that stuff? MySpace?
You did like a real, like you paid for it? Like,
I did.
Legit, like
I don't
FBI?
even think it was $4 whole. I think it was like $1.99.
That's all it costs?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this was back in the day.
Paulina's going to be
like, wait a minute. My background checks are social media.
This was back in the day. So I think I randomly had a Facebook account for like maybe like 6 months maximum at that time. Probably maybe 2 months. And I had this guy I just met. Someone introduced us. I didn't know him personally. So I was like, if I'm going to go out on a date with him, like, I better find out if he's like a serial murderer. So I did one. So when I saw them doing it, I was like, oh yeah, okay, that's smart. And she's like, you don't really know him, do it. I was like, yes, Rosa, tell her.
No, I've never done a background check. So it's like, because I'm normal. And like, but what does it say? Like, when you go to.
You know what it lists like former addresses, age. I think former addresses and age was kind of the only thing that came up, and then there was like a court. The name of the court and the town that it was in, and I couldn't tell what had happened at that court. And then that guy had told me that he was divorced, and he admitted it like it was this terrible secret. And I was like, who cares? I know divorced people that are my age. Like, I don't mind. I was like, that's cool with me, bud. So I guess that's what had come up on the background check.
Well, I thought that's what was going to be Foxy's problem, too, with her man. I thought it was going to say that he was married or that he had been married to this woman and just didn't say maybe he was getting divorced or maybe he was still married. I was like so sure that that's what it was going to be. Not the silly age.
But you've done like social media
I've done social media check,
yeah. No, we've all done that. That's normal.
Yeah,
that's normal.
That's correct.
Okay, well then I'm normal, I guess. Yeah. I had a question for you and I don't remember.
Okay, like what else did I find?
We're dying to know more about these background checks.
I'll remember.
You see, you should have wrote it down like Megan did.
I know.
You even have a pen in your hand and a piece of paper.
Well, somebody who's doing a little bit of talking would be Nikki Bella. She announces that she is going to have a speaking engagement at the Tampa Center for Women. I got really excited about this. I noticed when she kind of changed her social media several months ago when she got this one speaking engagement to say like public speaker or whatever it says like at the top, but that's what she wants to do. She wants to empower women and she wants to do this, and I think it's commendable and I think it's cute, and I've been very inspired by her. I mean, she posts all those great memes on social media. But I think that this will end up being a good future career for her.
Yes, I was gonna say that.
I'm not sure she was ready quite yet.
Really?
I mean, she did a great job. Brie's reaction to this was so interesting because she's concerned that people are going to see Nikki's hair and her boobs and make a judgment on her. And gosh, I feel like the drinking game for this show is to take a shot every time Christy says that Brie is self-righteous. And she so is. And I just have a problem with, remember last week even at the end of the episode, Nikki went to Brie to tell her, hey, I support you. What if Brie would do that just like one little time? Just once. If she was just like, Nikki, that's great that you have a speaking engagement. I support you. You're going to be fabulous.
But she did. I understand where Brie's coming from because I've done that with my sister. Everybody, I'm a realist. I'd be like, okay, you want to do this? Well, you got to do X, Y, and Z to get there. Maybe this doesn't work. Maybe this will. I've done that, and they've gotten mad at me and be like, why can't you just be supportive? Why can't you, I don't want to hear it anymore, and they'll walk away. It's coming from a good place. Like, my intentions aren't for her to fail. I'm just saying in order for something to make it work, you have to do a little bit of tweaks here and there.
So you've never been called a dream crusher?
I have.
Okay.
I have. I'm a very, I have.
Go ahead.
No, sorry. The mom said it well, though. I mean, it's a different perspective. Like, you are taking that away from who she is. If that's who she is, then that's who she is. And you don't have to be inspired by Nikki Bella. There's other people, there's other role models out there,
Yeah, true that.
I thought it was actually great advice because it's like she can be Nikki Bella on her Instagram and in the ring, and she can like just dress just a little bit more professionally just for the speaking engagements. It is a professional environment. Most people should probably be speaking to will probably be dressed professionally, and I think you're exactly right that she's setting herself up for this is going to be her future. When the wrestling's all done, this is going to be her major revenue stream.
I mean, maybe. I think that she should stay who she is. You can maybe, and not talking like a pig, but you can stare at the cleavage or whatnot. But that can be like a symbolism as far as like you can start here, but you're gonna be thinking about here. You're gonna look at my face at the end of the day because that's what's gonna matter. What she says and how she says it. It doesn't matter how she looked. It doesn't matter how she says it. I don't know. I did get. I'd like Nikki actually sticking to this because I know we've seen in the past like, oh, I'm gonna do this now. I'm gonna do that now. Oh, what? Bree sang her song. I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna go to, to the studio now. It's like, oh my god, it's kind of annoying. So I'm kind of happy she's actually doing something like this now. Actually, it's gonna mean something, not just I'm gonna be in the studio and not sing well.
But it suits her. It comes from she talks from
this more so. Yeah,
she talks from experience as well. I was inspired in like
because even now, like women's wrestling is a lot different than it was 20 years ago. Nikki Bella probably wouldn't be as so much of a focal point. Total Divas wouldn't exist 20 years ago.
Right.
So now that she's kind of the face of it, kudos to her. She's one of the people that broke the glass ceiling.
It seemed like she worked with professionals because I thought that the way she wrapped up the speech in the very end was really great. Or else, John coached her at home. Mr. Perfect coached her at home. But I thought she probably, she works with so many professional people and probably gets really great professionals to work with her and pays them great money. Right. So I think that she got, great advice on the appearance, worked with some great professional speech writers and really worked. And that wasn't the first time she was trying to speech out. I think she worked on it at home and with those people. Because I thought she did a great job.
I did too. And it was one of those things that going into it, I was sort of like biting nails a little bit. Like I wanted her to do really well, but they were setting it up in a way where maybe she was wasn't going to. Yeah. And I thought she really did. She sounded great. Maybe what she said wasn't super profound or wasn't anything that people haven't said or heard before, but I think coming from her, it still has meaning, and this was one of her first times, I think probably her first time doing something like this. And she did a great job, and I loved that John was there to support her. Of course, imagine how busy that man's schedule is, and this was before he was injured and before he was off. I mean, for him to get there to Tampa for 2 hours or whatever it was, I'm sure was a feat. And that was really cool that he was there to support her.
Where is their house? It's in Florida?
Tampa.
Yeah. Oh, it is in Tampa. Okay.
His house. Remember her signing that cohabitation agreement?
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Oh my god.
Well,
you keep giving away trivia questions.
You know what I just did? That wasn't today's, but you're so right. Hey, James, I forgot to introduce you again. Glad you're there.
Okay.
Now, okay. Now we can talk about Foxy. I did not think that this confrontation with Foxy's boyfriend would end in her ripping off her microphone and speeding off from production angrily. She came in hot, banging that doorbell.
Yeah.
And it sort of seemed like he was going to just sort of snow it over a little bit. It's not that big of a deal. My friend said it and I was going along with it. But what I flash back in that moment is on the phone with her. When she's like, oh, a birthday party, da-da-da. That would have been the perfect opportunity to just be like, oh, hey, you know what? I know you're in the car with your friends right now, but there's something I got to tell you. We'll talk about it later. He was going to brush it all off entirely. And that's what I had a problem with.
And if she was going to go there filming, knowing the answer could be either, no, I am the age I told you, that's wrong, that's not me on there, or, yeah, oops, I've been lying about my age, that's a 50% chance you're going to get made a fool of, it's taped, and then you're going to rip your mic off and run away from production, 50% chance that was going to happen. I don't understand why she would want to put that on the show anyway, as a storyline. Just saying.
Yeah, well, I always love when they do break that fourth wall and you see producers and he's running after her trying to grab the car door. Where are you going? Where are you going, Fox?
I thought that was him, the boyfriend.
No, that was a producer.
Production. He's put that mic back on.
I wouldn't have gotten that mad. I would have been like, let's chat about it. I think she could have found worse.
It's because you're not crazy, Paulina.
Yes. I would have broken up with him then and there. And I would have kept my mic on and we're
No, is it the lying or the age difference?
The lying.
Because it's one of those things where it's if you're going to lie about this, who knows what else you're lying about?
Exactly.
Yeah, it depends because I have an age cap too. So if you probably would have exceeded that, I'd been like, okay, how much I really like you?
What's your age cap?
Well, let's see. I'll be 27 next week. So
next Tuesday?
See how she
Wednesday.
slipped that in there?
we can celebrate next week.
5 years? 6 years? 5 years? I feel like it goes down the older I get.
Oh, really?
But yeah, 30.
I think the problem with when you start dating way older guys.
Well, not younger. Not I won't date younger than me. I'm just saying it gets closer to my age.
So you wouldn't date a 33-year-old?
Yeah, I have.
No, would you? You said it
Yeah,
gets...
I would.
Okay.
I would.
34?
I don't know.
I'm surprised.
Unless you're Jesse Palmer.
I say the older the merrier.
Well, I think the problem for some women with the huge age gaps is like they've had experiences you don't want them to have on their record. You know what I mean? It's like you're dealing with an ex-wife, you're dealing with an ex-wife with kids,
or 4.
The kids are like almost your age.
Mama,
You know that can happen. So it's like sometimes women really do have the age limits. Like smart stuff. You don't want their baggage. Come on.
Do you have an age limit, George?
As long as they're
No
18.
guy.
He's got a low age limit.
Is it an age threshold? But
I mean, and it's also too like you got to know what you're expecting too. Like if I'm going out with an 18 or 19-year-old, I can't expect a maturity level that a 30-year-old would have.
No,
or,
actually, I always get mad at my friends who date under 21 because I'm like, what do you do? Don't go to a bar, go out for drinks at dinner, like sit at home and I guess Netflix and chill.
I mean, that's what some people like to do.
It's WWE Network and chill for me.
That's right. Well, I wonder if that's what Amanda and her boyfriend Michael do. Let's talk about them now. This is the first we've seen of Michael. She and him have been together for over 5 years. He's from New York, where she's from uptown New York. And they didn't make it clear really if he was there at the Performance Center visiting or if he has moved there with her. So we don't know, but he's there. And he helps her through this Eva situation. This gets sticky really quick. She lets Eva know that she talked to the other girls about her. And Eva has a problem with it, kind of. And I understood that. I agree with the boyfriend when he ended up saying, like, you should have just gone straight to her. Like, this is what the girl's saying, or I'm concerned about the conversation in the car. She should have gone straight to Eva. And I wasn't surprised that Eva was mad. Would you guys have been mad?
Yeah. Yeah, I would have wanted her to come to me in the beginning. Make your own decision based off your own experience. She said it perfectly. And I agree with Michael. That's his name, right?
Yeah, he's going to be the voice
another
of reason,
level-headed character here.
I think with me, it's like I don't care what people say about me. It's just I want them to know the facts. Not an opinion. I want them to know the facts. And for that, don't go to someone else to get facts.
Yeah, no. What would bug me the most is if you came to me for a question. Oh, hey, I heard this, and then I clear it up, and you still choose not to believe me. That's when I get mad, because I know I told you the truth, and you still don't believe me. That gets me on fire.
That same thing happened on Real Housewives tonight. We're going to talk about it in about 20 minutes on that show. It's a dramatic night for reality television on AFTERBUZZ TV, folks. This is the point at which we see Foxy, Rosa, and Paige. They decide they need to have a girls' night out because Foxy's hurting, and they're really, really glad that they can afford guacamole.
A really nice dinner.
Right? The conversation that I wanted to hear was for like 1 second. I think it was Foxy asked Paige or Rosa. One of them asked each other, like, what do you think of this teams thing? This is the point in the Divas Revolution where we've explained, like, there's Team Bella and Paige has a team and Rosa's not on any team. Or even out in the ring, but I wanted to really hear more of what the ladies had to say about that and their opinion on it. I was like, oh yes, now we're getting into it, some good WWE stuff. And nope, just guacamole and chips.
So is Summer on a team?
Summer's not on a team. She was sort of playing like a love interest storyline at this time with one of the male wrestlers.
And is she, like, is the audience like her, or is she like one of those people they love to hate?
Summer?
Yeah.
She's not out there enough, but she's not really out enough to even be able to tell.
I can't stand her, and I have no idea why they put her on Divas ever.
They don't sell her to you as someone that they want you to like. Like, she's not like a baby face or, so
You're
it's not
definitely
really
supposed to hate her.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she does a good job. I guess she's like
that hot bee. The hot bee.
That word we don't say on this show.
I just don't even think there's anything fun, likable to then be like, yeah, let's hate her.
Actually,
I'm not explaining this well. I just like
that's okay.
Hate her, and wish she was never on the show.
I don't hate her though. I don't hate her or like her, but I do think she's hilarious when she makes her little snarky comments, like when she told Nattie, like, okay, get out of the chair.
Yeah.
Your makeup's done. You look okay.
The her and Nattie
it's obvious, like she doesn't care, and I thought that's hilarious.
Remember last week when she was telling Nattie, you are women's wrestling, and when I think of wrestling, I think of you, and I was just like, girl, they're not going to put you back on this show. Stop.
Maybe she truly thinks that. I don't know.
Sorry, Summer.
Oh, boy.
I really liked her on this show because I thought she fired up like everybody and got things talking and made you blur between the lines of like what's storyline for TV wrestling and what's going on Total Divas, and is that storyline or do they really hate each other? Like when Mattel came and they were like, "Oh, look, Nattie, this is your figure," and Summer Rae was like, "That doesn't look like you. That's way skinnier than you are." Like, it was like, oh man.
The car fight too.
Yeah, she definitely plays the part. She is the only wrestler I've interviewed, a lot of them, and she is the only one who kept up her shtick on the red carpet in the interview. The only one. And when she walked away, I remember being like, what a fake chick. But I mean, that's what she does, and she does that well, is like really selling you that that's who she is and that's what she's doing. So I guess props.
Wow.
Well, we see Eva get in the ring on this episode, and she had a great match with Carmella. She looks so good. I feel like even if I didn't watch wrestling, I would be able to see her in these vignettes and the matches and know that she's growing and doing really well. Mm-hmm. Right?
I have to be honest, I felt like when she did her entrance with the coat with the feathers and stuff, she didn't look super confident in her face. Like, I don't know if she needs to just work on her facial expressions, but she looked nervous to me. But maybe she was.
And these were some of her first matches back, so she probably was, but she looked great. That was a crazy suplex. George?
Get it?
I agree.
I don't know what that is.
Good.
Get it, girl. Yes, Eva. All right, whatever.
Well, while we're talking about silly things, Rosa eats pickles and peanut butter, and if y'all
That's
haven't
disgusting.
tried that, I'm telling you, it's like you can do like a sandwich.
Nope.
Just
Nope.
dip them
What
in.
made you
Nope.
do that?
I think I saw it somewhere else on TV. That was like a couple years ago. I remember my husband and we saw it on TV and decided to try it, and then liked it, and then it became a thing in our house for like a
Nope.
It
hot
seemed
second.
like some crazy pregnant lady stuff.
I know it sounds weird, but it's like sweetie peanut butter and like celery pickles. It works. It works. Chat roll, tell me if you love the pickles. and
Although
peanut
I dip
butter.
my French
Peanut butter
fries.
and apples.
I dip my French fries in my milkshake, but everybody does that.
Oh, I do that, yeah. Delish.
Oh, see, that is outlandish.
Wendy's fries and a Wendy's Frosty.
Yes, yep.
Yeah, it
And
depends on the
In-N-Out.
fries and the shake. Not
In-N-Out.
not they all don't. Like McDonald's fries, I can eat by themselves, but I can't do that in a shake. But yeah, it depends. Wendy's fries and Wendy's shake. And Frosty.
George wants some fries with that shit.
I'm starving.
Now that we're talking.
I have Valentine's candy for you.
Really?
Do you want, yeah, I'd have to leave my headphones to get it, so you just
Are they like those
you
little
just start,
hearts?
honey.
Those custom made hearts?
Oh, yes, I
Custom.
had custom-made hearts for you for Valentine's Day, George.
They say
You wish.
yes. Yes.
Well, speaking of little romantic gifts, Foxy gets some flowers from her man delivered to Rosa's house in Las Vegas. So clearly this was orchestrated by production, yes?
I thought that was
Foxy
Foxy's
did- I
house
thought that was
because
her
she
house.
wanted to
It was
fix the
Foxy's
garden.
backyard.
Weren't they at Rosa's house?
No, I think
No,
it
I
was
don't know what
Foxy's
any
house.
of their houses look like, but she said, "I need help. I'm
They're
going
at
to here.
Foxy's
Help
house.
me."
Oh,
do
well then
garden."
it totally makes sense that he would know where she lives. Never mind what I said. Either way, Foxy gets like super flattered and just decides to forget everything that ever happened and like get Roses crazy. Mm-hmm. Would you guys have forgiven and forgotten that easily with a big old bouquet? I'm so glad he could afford that big old bouquet.
I feel like it was 800 years ago that I would have been in this position, and I can't dream of how I'd feel. But I probably would have been. You're in that moment of like you're so pissed and you want to be broken up with them, but then like the slightest little
And you
thing
don't,
and you're
yeah.
like lose your mind and you're like, oh my god, there's hope, and you're like ready to forgive. I don't know. I mean, looking in hindsight, in my geriatric state, I would say she's better off without him. But I can definitely see myself having been like called right away, like thank you so much, and of course the jerk didn't even
back
pick up.
together.
Rosa's right. Rosa's got his number.
I was waiting for Rosa to find something dirty and be like, Foxy, guess what I found? I paid $15.99 and I got even deeper and I found
Yes.
X, Y, and Z.
Me
You
too.
thought Rosa wasn't done?
Yes!
She's
I
gonna
was kind
whip
of
it
hoping
out.
that was going to happen.
She would like whip it out over like the next dinner they had at the Chinese place. I thought this was gonna happen.
I did like that one from part earlier where he's like, "Oh, look, you're a lot older than you are. Wait, hold on. Let me put on my glasses because I can't really see right now." I was like, "That looks so old. You are old."
Wasn't that the reaction we all had though when they
Yeah.
first showed the photos of them together? We were like, "Ew, he's old." Like we all were like, "Ew."
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, he
I mean-
looks like an old Jonathan.
Yes,
Eva's husband.
he does. Called it. Nailed it.
Sorry.
Nailed it.
And I just want to mention when we saw Amanda's boyfriend talking to her and giving her that little pep talk, he said something like, she doesn't know how good you are. But Amanda was on Tough Enough, and that was a live show that was happening as it was happening. It wasn't these, we shoot it and you see it 3 months later. And even Marie, when she was at AFTERBUZZ TV for an interview, told me personally that she was watching Tough Enough. So she knew exactly what Amanda was bringing to the table when she offered her a tag team. Which really,
But he
it's not up
doesn't
to the
know
girls
that.
anyway.
How do you know who's watching what?
That's
are you implying that Amanda's boyfriend wasn't watching AfterBuzz TV? Total Divas After Show, Paulina?
Okay, this is a question from this is a question from the non-wrestling people.
Oh, hit it, girl.
So when she's like, we should be a tag team, does she even get to make that kind of decision, or would that be up to?
Absolutely.
No,
Yes.
I think
okay.
I would think that you'd have to pitch that to.
Right, like you'd have to go see Carano, right? Something like that.
You know how it works.
Just say.
Or one of the writers, yeah.
Getting my wrestling wings over here.
I love it.
They are here in Anaheim next week.
Let me tell you something. I'd be
are.
so scared of Carano if I were.
He seems so
a diva.
non-intimidating, though.
No, remember he was all like grabbing them and like being like, oh, ladies, and like rubbing up all on him last week during that
No,
meeting.
I'd just be intimidated by he's like the all-powerful
friendly.
one, and when he delivers bad news, it's the same intensity as he delivers good news. It's very like, this is what we're doing, this is the decision, sorry about it, see you next week. Like,
Yeah, I like it.
scary.
There will be no red and gold.
Right, like,
Carano out.
every time you're going in to meet with him, it's like he could be like letting you know that you won't be wrestling for a year. It's freaking scary.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, a character who's not so scary and is great at delivering the news is Mama Bella. Speaking of voices of reason,
Love her.
she's always so sweet, and she always also sets Bree straight when Bree is like too mean with Nikki, and she totally did that in this episode. Also, Mama Bella looked fabulous on Raw last night. She's blonder and skinnier than ever. She's clearly getting in wedding shape to marry John Laurinaitis, and she looks good. I just love to see her on the show.
What does her man do?
He works for them.
Oh, okay.
He works
was
for
a
WWE
big
as
deal
well.
back in the day.
Yeah.
I
all
was
you're gonna give us,
executive
George?
of talent relations.
Yeah, he used to actually he used to be like what Carano does.
Oh, okay.
What Carano does, he used to do that.
Okay.
Not anymore, obviously, but yeah, but he still works there.
It's good for mom to marry into the family. Keep
Oh,
those
yeah,
girls'
why not?
job security. Wait till mom.
Right?
Mom of
That's
the
why
year.
the spinoff show is going to come out. It's going to be the Mama Bella, Daniel Bryan, now that he's retired. You know, and they're
JJ and
and-
Lauren.
Genius.
I'd watch.
I mean, they are the stars of the show.
Yes.
Christy even named that show. What did you name it?
Yeah, it's gonna be called Being Bella.
Oh my God,
And I've
Christy.
said it so many times and so long ago that at this point, when they do name it that, they're gonna have to pay me a royalty.
I think you need to go to a pitch meeting at E and do one of those like poor man's, what are they called? Like the poor man patent where you mail yourself the
Yes.
letter. Like, I branded this.
It's funny because like what I see happening is that's going to happen, and then they're like, oh, by the way, Bellas, you're going to have a spinoff show. Like, oh, some chick on AfterBuzz, thought of it. Wait, what? We didn't even get
Executive
consulted on this.
producer Christy Olson. They'll be like, she has your plaque. It's okay.
We'll
She's
be
okay.
your
It's fine.
production assistants.
Production assistant, co-producer,
Associate producer, second AD or something.
writer,
Well, I hope you guys won't judge me by my
cast member.
by my like different colors of hair or how much cleavage I'm showing, like Brie implies people should do. That was like a little bit much for me when she said all that. Like, I know you're hippie and you're all natural and whatever, but what's good for you is good for you, and what works for Nikki works for her. And I just wanted to be like, oh, girl, come on.
I actually
Say
liked
something
her
nice,
advice.
Brie. Say something nice.
In defense of Brie, Christy and I disagree on everyone usually. In defense of Brie, I thought her advice was fabulous because I thought Nikki's little makeover was amazing. And she can, I thought it was very much her style. She just didn't have her boobs out, which is totally fine for like one 45-minute speech. That's fine.
Oh yeah, I remember she was on Instagram when she went to that salon in New York and was like, oh, I got rid of my extensions on my hair, and she did look fabulous. The outfit was on point. What did you think, Paulina?
I liked it all. I wasn't surprised. She still looked like herself.
Right.
And
But
you
it
dress
was a different image.
appropriately for the event that you're going to.
I think Stephanie McMahon is a perfect example of this. If you go back and watch like Attitude Era Stephanie McMahon and what she looked like then compared to what she looks like now, you'd be like, oh man, get the same tailor and whatnot.
Yeah, she got a good makeover.
Yeah, there's a way to put the boobs away and let everyone know that they're still there.
Yeah.
Is that what we're saying Stephanie McMahon does well?
Like, Nikki is a beautiful, 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 attractive woman with plenty of curves. Like, just because her cleavage isn't out doesn't mean you don't know she's got gorgeous, giant boobs.
Right.
That she paid for, by the way.
That I paid for. I hope I like them.
That John paid for. Come on. Well, Brie puts her on the spot and is like, all right, public speak for us right now. Empower us, girl. Come on. And God, okay, I can't anymore. I didn't think that was very nice, but I digress.
I
digress.
Totally a producer thing.
Yeah.
I think they were both acting in the scene, and I'm over it.
Really?
I didn't take any of that serious.
I've done that. Me and my sisters do that to each other. Oh, you can do that? Okay, let's see. Do it right now. And you stand on your hips and you just watch. So I was totally okay with it.
I'm the only child, so I wouldn't know. Yeah, we never played that game.
I very much have a Bree Nikki relationship with my sister, so I get all of this very much.
I just like I think they had it earlier where they were walking backstage, and just like I guess Nikki ran into something. She's like, "Oh, Bree, you wouldn't even tell me." I was like, "What? I'm supposed to teach you how to walk, apparently, to not run into stuff."
I'd wait for it to happen and then laugh.
That's so Bree.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I know you're all hanging out in the chat. I see you, Myra, Claire, Angie, Emmanuel. I know you guys are there, but I can't get your most recent comments because we're having some internet issues. So, thank you for being with us. Stay tuned. Now, this is the point where we learn something really interesting. In a conversation that's actually about Foxy and the fact that she's taking her man back and she's all good with it, Rosa mentions that Bobby is atheist. She's hardcore Christian, her and her mom, and that's not uncommon. And I feel like this was a precursor to set up for some major drama in future episodes, yes?
Yes.
Because that's kind of a major point of contention.
Yeah. Well, having a kid, I think, is what's going to make that all erupt. It's all well and good when you're dating, and then when you have a kid and you have to decide how you're going to bring them up, that's what everybody fights about. Or that's why everybody starts going to church again. Or you know what I mean? It's like, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
For some people, yeah.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Paige has a really big problem with her boyfriend, too. She's, like, totally super annoyed with him.
She said
and so she probably, like, totally has to break up with him.
So
she's, like, at that point in the relationship where she's so annoyed.
What is it? She said we're going through a dry spell. Did she mean, like, I don't have any feelings for him, they're all dried up? Or, like, sexually dry spell?
I think that was just the phrasing that she chose to use for whatever's going on.
No, I've heard of that. We're going through a dry spell. It's just like the honeymoon phase is over.
Yeah.
But they
now
still
you're just in a
have
funk.
sex, apparently.
You're in a funk. Well, you love them.
I mean, I thought the same thing. I thought look at it as they're just not having sex. They're not having being physical with each other.
No, you're just in a funk. Well, ask the married woman. What does that mean?
Oh, yeah, dry spell.
I wouldn't use that phrase. Just because it's an old school weird phrase.
I took it as they're in a funk. The honeymoon phase is over.
Well, and you know, all this marriage stuff and him pushing it so hard, obviously she didn't want it in the first place. Of course she's going to back off a little bit.
Okay, but I got really mad at her when she admitted that she can't see herself with him. It's like, if you know that from already, tell them, because then you're just wasting each other's time and feelings and everything that you've invested in. It's like, no, I don't want to invest it. Why would you put him through another couple of years?
I will say this though.
No, that ain't right.
I looked on each other's Instagram. I didn't see any pictures of them of each other.
This is the slow roll downhill to the breakup. Yeah. It's like she couldn't like cut off the engagement and break up with him totally. Then she's doing it like really slowly.
Even if she had realized it like 4 months after she broke up the engagement. Say something.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's definitely
I'm feeling
not fair to
so
him.
bad for him right now, which is a bit of a change from the first boyfriend that we saw. Who, I mean, obviously Paige was sort of the victim in that situation, but now we feel bad for Kevin. Sad.
He seemed like a really good guy.
He really does, and that's kind of the thing too. Is that she even said like he should go be with somebody who deserves to have him. Like he's a good boyfriend. Major props. I'm sure millions of women are watching right now, watching Paige, going, "Girl, do you know what you've got?" Like,
right. The fact that he wanted to marry her messy self, he thought she was so great enough to marry, and she's a mess.
Agreed.
I mean, what if he got a really nice girl all cleaned up on his hands? Like, forget it. They'd be married.
What would he say?
They'd be married by next week.
Now Paige is gonna tweet us like Rosa's boyfriend tweeted us.
Okay, I know Paige is not watching this show. The rest of them might be, but I know Paige ain't.
I'm not mad at you, Paige.
Guys, do you have anything you'd like to add about this episode? I just noticed that it's 8:59.
We were starting late.
Wrap it up.
I just wish that like I said, I like Nikki's speech. I just wish that the 3 words she said wasn't on every single John Cena T-shirt that's out there.
What would you have wanted her here?
Yeah.
What
Something,
are your 3 words?
Something that's not on John Cena's T-shirt.
What are your 3 words?
For that instance, you know, shoot, I don't know.
Girl power, yay! Those are my 3 words for empowering women.
I don't know. See, I'm sure if I had more time, I can think of them though.
Okay, George, don't quit your day job to try to empower women.
Tweet it.
That can be my 1,000th tweet.
Genius. All right, well, he ponders on that. Let's move on to a little bit of news and gossip. Because this is a big one, y'all. Big news. Bryan's husband, Daniel Bryan, as we've seen progress on this show, has retired from pro wrestling. He himself announced it yesterday and had an appearance on Raw where Brie came out with him. He gave a speech. It was heart-wrenching. This is very sad. Brie says, you know, a new journey awaits them, but they'll always talk about this one. I thought that was so sweet. She said that on Instagram. Nikki thanked him on Instagram for inspiring her and coaching her. And this means a whole new future for Brie and Bryan. And he also mentioned in the speech that they want to get to some baby making right away, when you would really think that this news would have derailed that plan. So that's what's going on with the what's his real name?
Bryan Danielson.
With the Danielsons.
I like the fact that, and I think there was like a rumor here and there saying like they were gonna hold off on the retirement speech to coincide with the Total Diva storyline, and I like that they didn't do that. I don't think that Total Diva should revolve around everything that the WWE does, you know. So it's like, hey, you know, they were not his hometown, but kind of home state, like an hour and a half from his home city, in Seattle, Washington, and yeah, it really was. And unfortunately, all those injuries kind of added up. I know they mentioned it a lot on Total Divas as well. So yeah, it was pretty sad.
Yeah. Well,
which he talks about in his book, by the way. And if anybody buys his book because of me, can you tweet that to them?
People who should get royalties for stuff.
Yeah,
this guy tears up this book every week.
Just be like, hey, I bought this book because of G. Hermoza. Please hire him, WWE.
Well, a little bit of empowering news after that. Nikki herself, who just went through the neck surgery that we told you all about, is back in the gym. WWE has YouTube video of her. You guys have to check this out. If you're having a bad day, if you think you can't get to the gym today, please watch this video of Nikki Bella working out in her neck brace.
Dang.
She doesn't need to say a word to empower women. Yes.
If you're having a bad day, look up that video of that dinosaur on jumping on a bed.
I don't know what that
or
means.
that. Thanks,
Literally,
George.
there's a little dinosaur jumping on a bed. There's no like hidden term. Look it up. It's freaking hilarious.
Well, Nikki Bella is also keeping herself busy in the downtime by having date nights with John. This was just a sweet little thing she mentioned in an interview. She said every week, once a week, no matter how busy they are, they get all dressed up. He puts on a suit and she puts on a gown. They go out to a nice dinner. They have a no phone rule. It's just those two and a bottle of wine. So maybe that's what Brie and Daniel would be doing from now on. Another little piece of info, Miss Eva Marie has started a YouTube channel. She basically just said, hey, you guys kept telling me that I should, so I'm going to do that now. She'll be sharing her daily life right now. One of the first videos that she posted was behind the scenes of a swimsuit shoot that she did. So, I mean, if you need to be empowered to go to the gym, maybe that's another video to watch. And Nattie celebrated a milestone on Friday. She had her 800th WWE match. It went down in her hometown of Calgary, and we know that family is going through a lot of health issues right now as well. So congratulations to Nattie on her 800th match. And we talked a lot about Summer Rae tonight. You don't know what she did over the weekend? She hit up that Rolling Stone Super Bowl party and posed for a little picture with rapper Future. So maybe future baby mama is in her future. I don't know.
Wow.
I have no idea who that is.
So just
he's the one that
out and about.
Sierra's
Sierra's baby daddy, yeah, that she always complains about.
Oh,
the singer, Sierra.
The one that's with Russell Wilson. Sierra.
I called her Ciara. I don't know what I call it. Okay, I got it.
Oh,
I got it. I don't know my rappers.
All right, let's do one more little thing, guys. Let's have a little bit of total throwback. I have a little trivia question for you. Y'all know I've been watching back the old seasons of Total Divas, and I want to know if you have the answer to this question. George definitely will, but let's see if you ladies remember. In the first season, everybody was a boyfriend back then. Nobody was married yet. Two of the Total Divas cast members' boyfriends went head-to-head in the main event of SummerSlam. Do you remember which Divas' boyfriends had this
Wait, are we naming
match?
the Divas or the boyfriends?
Name the Divas.
I feel like you said it last week, and
it's not Nattie.
I'm gonna say Trinity's man and Bryan. Wrong.
So close. Damn. Paulina, you want to weigh in?
I'll say Trinity. I don't know any other divas besides the Bellas.
Well, the Usos did have a big tag match at that SummerSlam, but that wasn't it, George. I know.
Well,
you know
keep going.
one.
You say you don't know any other divas but the Bellas. So
The Bellas?
John and Ryan.
Dang, I was trying not to go so obvious too.
Yes, John Cena and Daniel Bryan went head-to-head at SummerSlam. Was that 2012 or
2013?
I thought it would have to be harder.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Los Angeles, California.
I
was there
all
actually.
on the red carpet.
I remember I was there.
I was there as well.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh, we were the
Well, I
only
was at
ones
the
that-
red carpet party, and Nikki, who had had a few glasses of wine, somehow made her way like past me down further past the red carpet, and I like yelled at her like straight like ghetto style. I was like, Nikki! And she came over and was nice enough to like come back over after she was done with the media line and come and talk to me when there was like 100 media, and that's part of the reason why I have always loved her and always will, because she just gave me the time of day that day. So.
But if she never
Sweet.
came, then, you know.
Girl power.
In trouble. All right, well, guys, if any WWE superstars want to come to you for an interview, where do they contact you at?
To me. You guys can find me at underscore Paulina Aguilar. Not but underscore Paulina Aguilar on Twitter.
You guys can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. It's all at Megan Stecher. It's spelled MEGANSTECHER.
You can follow me Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, PlayStation Network. G Hermoza, GHERMOZA.
And make sure you choose.
And buy the book.
Buy the book. And make sure you stay tuned into AfterBuzz TV. Right now, we are going to go live with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after show. And you guys can always keep up with me at Christy Reports. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for hanging out in the live chat. We love you all, and we will see you next week for more Total Divas. Have a good one.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.